Hi guys, welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. How are you all doing? If you're new here, my name is Scott Edwards. I'm a songwriter and I make YouTube videos as well, just like this. So if they are the sorts of things you're interested in, YouTube and music, click that little subscribe button down below and come and be a part of this community. So if you didn't yet know, for this year, 2020, I am releasing a new single every single month, all recorded here at home at my little desk set up just behind me. So I've had lots of different questions about how I actually record my music from home, and there are lots of different ways that different people use to be able to record their music. So this video is going to be all about the way that I go about recording my music, and hopefully it helps you out a little bit. So yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, never before has it been this easy as it is now to get music recorded at home. It's never been this easy ever. 10-15 years ago it'd have been a hell of a lot more expensive to be able to do this, and a lot more difficult as well, because of obviously the internet makes it a hell of a lot easier, but also the technology involved as well. It's so much cheaper to be able to do it now, and it's incredibly easy as well. So this video is going to be all about that. And so no matter what type of music you're making, whether it's electronic music, guitar music, it's possible to do it all from home. But there are a few different things that stay the same no matter what music you're making, that you kind of need to be able to create your music. So this video is just going to be about going over those things that you actually need to create your music. So the first thing you need to be able to make your music from home is a DAW, or a digital audio workstation. The one I use at home is called Logic Pro X. There's endless amounts of options that you could choose from. It might be Pro Tools, Cubase, I'm not going to list them all. If you have a Mac as well, GarageBand is another great option for a DAW, and that is free. It's essentially a cut down version of Logic. So if you are thinking of getting Logic in the future, just use GarageBand for now. I started on GarageBand before I upgraded to Logic, and the stuff you can get on GarageBand honestly is genuinely incredible, considering it's free as well. But just choose the one that feels right to you to use. I chose Logic because I've got a Mac. If you use Windows, Pro Tools is great. I think you can get Pro Tools for Mac as well. But just choose the one, or use the one that you have been using previously. They all do pretty much essentially the same thing. They are there to record your sounds, edit them, and it's just a space to create. But without a DAW, you won't be able to record all your sounds. So the DAW is essential in recording. But without your DAW, you won't be able to record your sounds. So the DAW is pretty much the only essential thing you need to be able to record any sort of music. The other great thing about DAWs as well is they come with a load of sounds, and you can use plugins to be able to create different sounds. So Logic that I use comes with a load of sounds included. You might have guitar sounds, synthesizer sounds, keyboard sounds. It's endless. It just goes on, and you can buy more as well that you can then put into Logic and record with. I'll get a little bit more onto plugins a little bit further into the video. Now the second thing you need to be able to create your music from home is an interface, or an audio interface. What these allow you to do is to plug your instruments or your microphones into your computer and record straight into your computer through there. So if you wanted to record a vocal, you could plug your microphone into your interface, and then that records straight into Logic. If you wanted to plug your guitar in, you can plug your guitar straight into the interface without an amp, straight into the interface. Use the amps in Logic or whichever DAW you're using. If you're using a plug-in amp, then you can use that as well. And you can record straight into your computer just by plugging straight into your interface without an amp. So very, very handy if you're creating demos, or even if you're creating a proper music to release. It's very, very useful. But essential if you want to be able to plug in mics and guitars. Even keyboards, you can use MIDI keyboards straight into your interface, and that all goes into your computer. If you didn't have your interface, you wouldn't be able to plug in your guitars or your mics. So if that is something you want to be able to do, and you don't just want to use the mic on your computer or your laptop, which I would highly not recommend, you definitely need an interface to be able to record your music. You don't need to spend vast amounts of money on an interface. Now, there are some very expensive ones out there, and yes, they might be a little bit better with better preamps built in, but it's not essential for creating your music at home. The one I use is called the PreSonus Audio Box i2, and it cost £150. It came in a bundle with some headphones, an XLR cable, and a microphone, all for £150 with the interface itself. There are endless amounts of interfaces out there as well, just as there are doors. Don't spend a lot of money on one. Try and find a little bundle if you've not already got one. But there are endless amounts of options out there for interfaces, just like there are with doors. Focusrite do some great ones. I think it's a little bit more expensive than the Audio Box i2, but still very cheap compared to 10-15 years ago when it would have cost an absolute bomb to create music at home. Okay, so number 3 for what you need to be able to record your music at home is your instruments and your microphones. Now obviously you can use the microphone that's built into your computer or your laptop, but I definitely would not recommend this because the sound would be terrible and you've got no control over what it does. It's okay if you're messing around in GarageBand, because obviously GarageBand is free, so if you just wanted a quick mess around, then you can get some okay stuff with a little microphone on your laptop or your phone. But if you're recording music that you want to be able to use, definitely don't use the microphone on your computer. Now, I'm not going to go into a whole list of microphones that you could possibly use. There are thousands of microphones out there, but essentially the 3 main types are condenser, dynamic, and ribbon. Ribbon mics are very, very expensive because they're very delicate. Dynamic and condenser are probably the 2 most common ones. Obviously, what you want, go and have a look at the different sorts of microphones that you might need to be able to create what you want. I have a condenser mic that came in my bundle with my Audio Box i2, as I mentioned before, and I also have a Rode M1, which is a dynamic mic. So the 2 do work slightly differently. Obviously with a condenser mic you need phantom power, so you need to make sure that your audio interface does include phantom power. I'm not going to go into how phantom power works in this video, but if you have a condenser mic you need phantom power. Obviously as well you need your guitars or your keyboards, because they're what you want to be recording. If you want to record little software instruments or like techno instruments, you can use the keyboard on your computer. I'm still very new to, I've not done a lot of it, but it is possible to use your computer keyboard as a MIDI controller and use all the different software instruments, whether they're included in Logic or you've bought some different ones in a plugin. It is possible to create music from your computer keyboard without any instruments. So I would kind of class your computer keyboard as a musical instrument. It's there, why not use it? It would be a little bit easier to use a proper MIDI keyboard, but if you don't have one, it's not essential because you can use the keyboard on your computer. So definitely use that and experiment around that before you go out and buy a MIDI keyboard, unless you already have one. So yeah, obviously your instruments and your mics are essential to be able to record your music at home. Now just very quickly going back to plugins. Plugins are obviously digital software. Now a lot of people argue that digital software doesn't sound as good as analog recordings do. But to be able to create the sounds you want from home, plugins are pretty much essential now. 10-15 years ago, again, that is just bonkers. They were just starting to come out, but very, very expensive. Now they're all pretty affordable, and there's stuff to be able to do whatever you want to be able to do. There's guitar amps, different synthesizers, compressors, delay, whatever you want to be able to do. You can buy plugins from different studios that studios have made, so if you wanted a specific Abbey Road sound, you can download Abbey Road plugins. The list is endless, so just have a look at the ones you want to be able to do. But again, the ones that are built straight into Logic and the DAW you use, they're all very, very usable. I've not bought any plugins, I just use the ones that are built into Logic. And yes, I would like to go out and get some more, and I will in the future, but you don't need them, it's not essential. Just use what is available to you at the time. If you want some, go out and get some, but just use what is available before you know you're going to be using them. And finally, the last thing you need to be able to record your music from home is a pair of headphones or monitor speakers, and or both. Headphones, very, very important for when you're recording, because you want to be able to hear what you've already recorded while you're playing. So if I wanted to record a lead guitar part and I'd already got the rhythm guitar down, I need to be able to hear that rhythm part so I know where I'm playing the lead in the right place. So you can use your headphones to listen back to what you've already recorded, so when you're overdubbing your next recording, you can hear back and you know where you are playing. Same with vocals. If you're singing into a mic, you need to be able to hear the song so you know where to sing. So headphones are very important when you're recording. Monitor speakers, not quite as important, but still fairly important. If you want to be able to mix your own music at home, I would definitely recommend getting some monitor speakers. I don't yet have any monitor speakers, so I'm just mixing on my headphones, which you can do. It's not quite as easy because headphones try and produce a better quality sound. They adapt the sound to suit the headphone. Monitor speakers, you get a very flat response, so you hear what the producer intended you to hear, whereas headphones and different speakers. So here, for example, I have a Marshall Bluetooth speaker. I don't know if you can just see that there. That is pretty much just designed to play music back from Spotify, and it enhances the sound to be able to sound better to your ear. But when you're mixing and mastering, you don't want your speaker to enhance it in any way. You just want a very flat level so you know where to boost and where to cut your sounds in the EQ and all that nonsense that I'm not going to get into. So again, I would definitely recommend monitor speakers. It's something I'm looking at very soon. But you don't need them, just use your headphones if you've got a good pair of headphones. So yeah, that is it for what you need to be able to record music at home. It is very, very easy now, and it doesn't have to be very expensive at all. In fact, it can be very inexpensive. GarageBand, as I mentioned, is free. A little audio interface, you could spend as little as 50 quid on one. If you've already got your guitar, you can record some music already. So yeah, very, very easy to create your music at home. It doesn't have to be expensive, it doesn't have to be complicated. Just do what you want with it, experiment and have fun. That is the best thing to do. That's what it's all about, just creating great music that you enjoy making. That's why you want to be able to do it, because you enjoy making it. So yeah, I think that is it. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them. I myself am very new to all this home recording stuff, so I'm still learning a lot myself as well. Drop your questions in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them. Don't forget to click that little subscribe button down below, and I shall see you all soon in the very next video.